everyone, and welcome back to Crayon Farms. Today we are going to show you one of the biggest mistakes new gardeners make, and this is actually very unseasonable weather for us. It is May the 9th and we are getting ready to have frost tonight. So because of that, we have got to, woo, it is windy. We have got to cover a lot of our warm weather crops. So warm weather crops are your things like tomatoes and eggplant, peppers. Those things do not like the cold at all. Your cucumbers, your squash, zucchini, things like that. Now other plants can do just fine. My radishes, my kales, lettuces, I'm not going to worry about those so much. They are fine and cold, and actually sometimes I think kale and some of your lettuces taste a little bit, I don't know, sweeter. They have just like a better taste when they have just a little bit of a crisp frost on them. So we're not going to worry about those, but everything else has got to get covered. So when we're done with all this, it could look pretty interesting out here. So let's get going. All right, I need everybody to help, okay? Yeah. This is what we're looking for. What are we looking for? Buckets. Buckets, what else?
Stuff that we need to cover.
Stuff we can cover with them. What is some stuff we can cover with? Yep. You can use storage containers because they're great, especially clear ones, act just like a greenhouse. We are gonna move some stuff to the greenhouse, and we have some frost fabric that we're gonna have to put some hoops up and put fabric over that. So you start collecting buckets and storage containers, and we'll start collecting the fabric so we can get stuff covered. So the tricky thing is that you don't want your plants to be touching. If you have plastic over them, you've got to somehow keep the plastic off of them, because they can still freeze if the fabric or the plastic is touching them. So some things, like, it just depends on kind of how we are in this area. Looking at my cucumber plant here, I would be okay just to stick a bucket over this one. You know, depending on space, once we get out here and start looking, like, we've got a lot of plants down here that've got to be covered. This is for things like beans, your melons too. So these melons are up on a hill here for me. I'm actually going to try just to stick a mason jar over some of these and see how that works. All right, these are tomatoes we've still got to get in the ground, so they're going straight to the greenhouse for the night.
You need to close the other door.
We will. We'll get them all closed up. All right, melons, peppers. So peppers, if you actually put them out and the temperatures are fluctuating a whole lot, they will, it'll stunt their growth. They'll be nice and warm, tucked in the greenhouse here, and they'll be great for morning. Thank you. We need to give everybody a good dose of water. Look at there. Greenhouse is rocking, and we've had the doors open. As soon as this little freeze is over, all these babies are going straight in the ground. We were full steam ahead putting everything in the ground
here
the past week, and then we had to slow down when I saw that the frost was coming. So right now the worst part is that it is very windy, and because of that you don't want to put anything too light. Like, we have some containers like this we could use, but it's so windy it would blow them off. So we have got, so far we're still working, we've got a bunch of buckets that we use for water, we've got some glass mason jars, and we haven't started with our fabric yet. So this is frost fabric that is good all the way down to 15 degrees, so this will be okay for tonight. We have wires just under here that you make a hoop like with and then cover down. You can see where these two cucumbers have gotten hit by frost, and I think that happened probably last night, so I'm not going to cover that. And what I'll do is just put a seed in the ground to replace this one, and this one's the same way. You can see how it's black on the leaf there. These are cucumbers, so we'll just put a seed in the ground there. Cold will not kill a seed, heat will kill a seed. So we will be okay by sticking the seed in the ground to replace those two, and we shouldn't have any more frost. So we are very unseasonably cold for us to have a frost in May, when our last frost date was a month ago. So something to keep in mind when we start putting your warm weather plants in the ground. Now we're working on the potatoes. Potatoes can take a little bit of frost. But because it's gonna be so cold tonight, we are gonna go on and cover the potatoes. If you look here in this bed, this was my bed that I planted in March. So everything in here is still fine. So beets, lettuces, spinach, cilantro, all of these will taste much sweeter even after the frost gives them a little kiss tonight. So this bed does not have to be covered at all. But we will go ahead and get our potatoes covered. And then I think we just have to work on some flowers. It might look a little crazy now. Now those are some flowers, and if we lose them, I can replant. But the main things down here of squash and cucumbers and tomatoes and peppers are now all covered. Now things like your fruits will generally be okay, unless you're down into the 20s. Now we shouldn't get that cold tonight, so hopefully my blueberries will be okay. Things are covered. You want to pay really close attention to your warm weather crops. So tomatoes and eggplants and peppers and your beans, squash and cucumbers. Those are the things that the frost is really going to affect. So usually down to like 35 is easy. You don't have to worry about things. When you start getting to 32, 30, like we're gonna be tonight, it's just really unseasonably cold. Nothing like what we're used to, especially in the middle of May. So in order to protect these crops, we are putting everything under cover that is a warm weather crop. Now, lots of first-time gardeners will get in a hurry and just be ready to throw stuff in the ground because you're eager and you want to put it in. That's why in March and April, especially April, you cannot start putting your stuff in too early. You've got to know your last average frost date, and then also just take that as it is an average. So know that you can still have some cold frost. I usually wait about 2 weeks after our last frost date, average frost date, and then start paying attention to the 10-day forecast. At that point, then I start feeling okay about putting in some warmer weather things. Now, I knew it was a gamble putting my peppers in this early, but I still have some peppers that I stuck in the greenhouse. So if these don't make it and they start looking puny, I'll go on and throw those in the next week so that I have some backups. Just like I was saying with my cucumbers, some of those that are not looking great right now, I think they might have gotten hit by a frost that I didn't realize it was going to frost early this morning, and so they look kind of burnt on them. I am going to go ahead and just stick replacement seeds in the ground right where they are, and they will probably sprout pretty quickly. Cold is not going to kill your seed. Heat will kill your seed. So know that if you stick a seed in the ground right now, it's okay. Well, for us at least, the soil is getting ready to warm right back up, and those things will go ahead and germinate and come up. So thanks so much for watching. I hope this helps you out a little bit and see that you're not the only one that might be covering crops right now. But if you're a first-time gardener too, let this be a lesson to take it slow in the spring and don't be eager to just rush and put things in, because you've got the chance of losing your crops or having to do a lot of work and put a lot of buckets and covers in the ground. So thanks so much for joining us on Cram Farms Homestead today. Please give our video a like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next video. Have a great day.